All right, Professor. So, and students, of course, please welcome to another session of my ongoing series on JavaScript, where we are trying to cover the basics about programming. Of course, now we kind of reached out to basics of Angular, and today, in fact, I will be showcasing another aspect of basics in Angular, which, of course, I'll talk about it. So, this is about me. Again, the slide is there. You can see myself. I have accomplished some things in terms of experience. So you can see that on the board there. And of course, today is we are getting into, we are kind of, Professor Dr. Watson, we are kind of like, we reached a midpoint in our Angular basic, Professor. So today I am going to, like, till now, I only showcased in the demo sessions about how to use Angular, show things and everything. But in today's session, I will also be talking about making this like a connection. So that is like a front end and back end, Professor. So we are like about to reach like about like the third act. If this is a movie, then like the first act was the JavaScript basics, the second act is the Angular, and then the third act is where we combine Angular with a backend, Professor. So today is gonna be a little bit more theory than usual, but of course, as always, I have a lot of stuff packed here, and then we'll get back to showcasing code and everything in the next session. But the first thing is, yes, as always, Professor, I have a one sheet document. So let me go ahead and quickly share that to the session. Of course, as always, I'll be sharing once more at the end of the session as well for those who have joined in later. So first, please go ahead, folks. Remember, the Zoom chat will not remain after the session is over. So download the PDF, keep it for you. And of course, those who arrive late, I will be sharing the document again at the end of the session. So the one sheet document, let me quickly open that. It has the usual collection of a summary of our session, like this is session 15, so what we are planning to do and everything. And then, of course, with project links and all that. So it keeps going like this. It's almost like a diary of everything that has been done in the past with necessary links and everything. So that's the one sheet document. Okay, so of course it also has additional information right there on the front page about how to connect with the community and everything. So that is also there. Right then. So what are we doing here? So, Professor, today what I'll do is, because we are now in the end of the second act, before we go to the third act, some of the questions I get is, I think I should kind of revisit this quickly, is sometimes I'm not sure how and why some of the students, they are actually trying to follow up on my session and trying to run my projects. For whatever reason, they're not able to do that. So I thought today is a good day before we move on to the next phase of the training. Why don't I just show them where to get my stuff and how to run it? It seems like that is something where many are falling behind. So I think it's worth doing that one last time before we go to the next step. So here, folks, whenever I share a link or something, I will give you a project or something. So today, again, I'm going to show you a new project, and that will be a reference point for the rest of the training. So let's start with that. So for example, today I am looking. So let me go to my Firefox. So again, I want to mention this for the training and everything. Please try to use Firefox browser. And of course, I have my GitHub account. And here, if you go to my account, so I'm kind of, again, slowing down. I mentioned this before. Sometimes I go fast, other times I go really slow. So today is one of those ways I'll go really slow. So this is my account. You've seen this before, and I know some of you are following me as well, so that's good. And if you scroll down here, right there, you'll see an option called Bungee card, right? So this is going to be our reference. This has always been our reference point, but we are not, like I said, this is going to be your guide going forward. So if you can't find it here for some reason, because this layout is dynamic, it can change over time. This is fixed. If you go to repositories, you will see what I'm talking about. Like, again, Bungee card. That's the same thing I showed. Okay, so I'm gonna put this link as well. into the chat. So again, remember the Zoom chat is not persistent. It'll go away after the call. So please copy whatever links you want. Okay. And along with this, if you scroll down a little bit more, you'll also find Angular for students. So again, this link also I'm going to put in the chat box. So again, really slowing down today to make sure everyone gets this, because I do see some students following up, but a lot of times they are, for some reason, they are unable to navigate to these two things. I don't know how, but I thought I'll just, so there you go, Professor. I hope you got the links as well, sir. One is Bungee Card, which is gonna play a very important role in the final section of our ongoing sessions. And then, of course, Angular for students, which is something I've already shared and showed in the previous sessions. Now, how do you get this code? This is another area where I see a lot of students struggling. So before I move on to the next part, in the future sessions, now there are two ways, guys. One, again, going all the way back to very early sessions, you really have to go to my archives to do this. So I spent a lot of time teaching the sessions on GitHub. So I can't repeat the entire GitHub session now, but one is by cloning, by using the clone URL here. So for this, you really have to dig up the archives of AIU and see the old sessions about GitHub, or visit my YouTube channel, which has a collection of sessions on GitHub. Either way, so you have to do that and then try to clone using the Git clone link. So I can't show that now, but that is option number one. So if you remember the Git sessions, or you go to the YouTube channel, you'll know exactly what to do. So, but that is too complex to repeat now, but that is option number one. But the second option, for those who are not into Git, or they're not able to do Git right away, but still want to use my classes, use my projects, please understand there is an option to download it as a zip folder. Now, this is something you can do until you actually learn Git. So that's what I'm going to do now. So remember, Angular for students, then first option, Git. You have to dig up the archives of AIU, watch my earlier sessions on GitHub from, I think, a year ago or more than that, or check out my YouTube channel again. I put a lot of videos on GitHub. Second option already, until you learn Git, you still have to learn Git though, very important, is to download like I did just now in the Angular for Students folder like that. So once you have downloaded a copy, now you just have to go to downloads, and then 1 second. Okay, so once you are in the downloads folder, you just have to extract that folder wherever you downloaded it. No restrictions on that. Okay, so now this is where things get a little tricky. So again, really slowing down. So remember, you have to go inside and again inside, and only then will you see my demo projects. One thing which I've noticed, Dr. Watson, is that for some reason, some students are reaching the outside folder and then they are opening this in VS Code, and they are not able to open the project. I'm not sure why, but so that's something which you should not be doing, guys. So you would go inside and then you'll open whichever project you want to run. So right now, there are a lot of projects here, but the one I specifically built for you guys is Hello World AIU from the previous session. So let's say this is the project I want to run, then I am going to go inside the folder. Again, very important. You should be inside the folder and right click on the white area or the black area if your computer is using dark theme, and then open that in VS Code. And you should see like this, the title should be in black letters all the way in the top. If it's in the second line, then you did it wrong. If it's in the third line, again, that is wrong. So it should be the very first title all the way in the top, literally in big black letters. Dr. Watson, you're not able to see that, Professor. Right? So there you go, folks. I know some of you who are already able to do it, that might sound silly. Okay, why is he suddenly slowing down? But at the same time, I'm personally aware of many students who are not able to do this step. I'm not sure why. So I thought maybe I did. I assume maybe in the previous session I thought I didn't show it properly. So I thought, okay, fine, let me show it today. So there you go, folks. So please remember to be inside the folder, and you can. And again, remember you have to open terminal. And here also another way to confirm. Now, again, I mentioned this before. I hope you guys are able to get one of those AI subscriptions. I know they cost a bit of money, but it is worth it. So I'm just going to close that today. Yeah, here again, when you open terminal, this is the second way you can confirm. See, the folder, the project you're trying to run, it should be visible as the end of the terminal. Dr. Watson not able to see that, sir. Perfect. Dr. Watson is nodding, so I'm going to assume others are able to see as well. So really slowing down here. First, make sure that is the big black folder name in the left side. That's one way to confirm. Another way to confirm is when you open terminal to run the commands, you want to make sure that is the final word in the project. It's a very simple step, but somehow it's getting lost in translation there. So I thought I'll just show that. So now I'm definitely in the right location now. So how do I, what is the next step? How do I run this project, right? So the commands again, npm. Okay, npminstall. Now this command I've already mentioned many times. I can't make that bigger though, so you'll have to kind of squeeze in there. So remember, npm install. So it's going to take a few seconds depending on your internet speed. I am traveling. I'm in a hotel room, but I think the hotel has good Wi-Fi. Like you're able to see me properly, so I think the internet is fast enough. It should get over in a few. Oh, there you go. It's done already, right? Oh. Dr. Watson, that's my mother. Sorry, sir. I'm just going to stop that. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, reminding you that you are with Atlantic International University. And Professor J is having a pause, but he is demonstrating again the topic of Hello World, and today is part 4. Go ahead, brother.
Yes. Sorry, sir. I told her, I'm busy. She's
That's okay.
yes, yeah. So there you go, folks. So remember those two steps. The folder name in the top. It's very silly, but for some reason it is causing some challenges for some students. Second thing, npm install. Now, just to be on the safer side, I am going to go ahead and type that command already here live in front of you. So I'm just gonna create a new slide for you. And then where it says running my project, I'm going to say npm lowercase install. Professor, I think you're able to see that there. npm install. Hopefully that is big enough. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. So now let's go ahead and come back to this one. Okay. So when you do that, it'll download all these files. Don't worry about that. That is standard procedure to get all the packages. And then you are going to say npm run start. Okay, so that command also, I will put it on the slide. So npm runstart. I've done this before, but I just figured now that we have reached like a end of the second act of our training, I thought it's a good time to revisit these basic commands. We did learn this all the way back, but anyway, so I just thought, okay, there you go. So once you do this, it will say for sure, because the project is already tested and I already tested it, fixed all the errors, it will literally run just fine. And here it is going to say localhost 4200 or whatever number on your machine. Again, the number itself makes no difference. So here it will say follow link. So you'll go ahead and say follow link, and you should get something like this. So if you're able to get this, then you are on the right track. So there you go, folks. So that is how you download any project, any Angular project. The steps are the same. Ideally, you should be cloning it. But if you have yet to learn Git, like before Git, dig up the archives, learn Git again. Okay, cloning is the best way to do it. But or if you're, till you learn Git, you still want to run my project, download like I did, extract the files, and most importantly, go inside the project you want to run and then do what I just showed. Okay, so very, very important. Okay, so yeah, so there you go. I'm sure we did do that before, but maybe I wasn't clear enough. So I thought, okay, before we go to the next step, let's do that. Okay. Now that's how you would run the project. So how do you stop running it? Obviously, I mean, I started it. How do I stop it? So just go back to this bottom terminal and then Control C, stops running. And then you can just close this window. Like if you reload, it won't work anymore. So it's just spinning, it's not loading. After a while, it'll say it gave up because it stopped working. So that is the how you start and stop any of the Angular projects that I already talked about, like two links I put on the Zoom link. So two big ones, main ones actually, is one is Angular for students, right? We've been using that for some time now in the last few sessions. And today and in the future sessions, we'll be shifting from this Hello World project. So this is also a Hello World, this is also a beginner level project, but this is more going to be about connecting the front end and back end. So we are kind of going there to that end. So here, there are some things I want to show you, like what you can expect to learn. Now, this is something I mentioned all the way back when we started the JavaScript sessions. I think almost a year ago, Professor. It has been a really, really long journey. So I'm really kind of trying, do what I promised all the way in the beginning. So now from this session on, we'll be using this one. So here, this is a slightly bit more complex, although it is still beginner friendly and everything. You'll see a lot of projects here, and right now the one that will really matter to you is the ones which have Angular. So you can see here, I'm just marking it. There are two Angular projects, Angular 1 and Angular 2. And I originally thought, I will just use this for the AI sessions, but then just like in the previous time, like for example, in the previous session as well, I already had Hello World projects, but then I figured, I built one just for AIU anyway. So my plan is, now that when we begin the third act of our training, I will have a bungee cord dedicated for AIU from scratch, just make some additional adjustments, customize it or something. So I will add that. So there you'll see a AIU Angular as well here. So that is one thing, but that'll obviously be using the existing code, but I just want to tailor it more for these sessions. So that you'll get when the next session starts. So till today, we are using this one, Hello World AIU. Now from the next session, by the next session happens, I'll be adding a bungee cord, Angular, AIU, just for the sake of you guys. I always like to do that. When I'm working for a student or a client, I like to have a dedicated code for them. So if I make any changes based on the student feedback, I do that a lot. So like this one I'm using for someone else, I make some changes. So here again, I get some feedback. I want to keep the changes and modifications specific to the student. So you'll start seeing that, because anyway, that's for next session. So you'll start seeing that there. Now here, what I really want to show you is, so what happens here? So let me stop the screen sharing for a second, and then let me get a whiteboard. I believe the Zoom used to have a whiteboard option. I don't know why. I don't think here it has. Some Zoom have like a whiteboard option. Dr. Watson, I don't think we have it here. So, oh, wait a second. Oh, there it is. Okay. It is there, Professor. Yes, sir. I thought it was not there. They moved it to a different tab, Professor. It should be coming up now. Yes. Okay, there we go. All right. Professor, are you seeing the whiteboards? Okay. All right. Oh, actually, Professor, I think, yes, sir. Yes, I have it here. Okay. All right, folks. So now what are we doing here? So till now please understand that the software, any software really, is divided into two parts. And the first part is good. Professor, I think everybody is able to draw. That's a problem. Let me stop this.
Are you
Professor.
saying everybody is allowed to share?
Draw as well, Professor. Let me. I'll
See.
stop this
Now,
one,
only
Professor.
one, the way I have it on my system, only one participant can share at a time, which is you in this case.
Oh, okay. But I saw two other people drawing, Professor. Okay, maybe that was okay. All right, Professor. Let me just start with a clean. 1 second, Professor. Let me start with a new board. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Whiteboard. There we go. New. Okay. Okay. Yes. All right, Professor. So now, so every software, the web apps, website that we're trying to build, it has two parts. It has the front end, right? That is what we have been discussing for the last so many sessions. So that is where we are using Angular, with the hello world and everything. And then it also has something called as the back end. Now the back end, usually we use words such as web API or backend server. So that is what really happens in the back end. Now the back end is also where we try to go ahead and connect the whole thing to a database. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead, draw a cylinder here. So that is again, your database, right? So, and because of the database, we are able to store data, right? So the backend connects to the database. So it's a two-way connection. Yeah, somebody's drawing again. I don't know how to stop that, Professor. I'm just gonna erase this. Okay, yeah, I think it's gone. Okay.
It looks to me that the software, for some reason which I personally do not understand, the software designed the system as long as you move your mouse, whether you are clicking on the screen or not.
Oh, maybe it's me.
Yeah,
Okay.
because only one person at this time is allowed to share.
So then I'll stop. Maybe I'm without knowing I'm touching. Okay, yes. Okay.
Okay.
So I got my hands away. So all right. Okay, so the software has a two-way connection to the database, so we are able to store data. Now that is important because if you're working on something, when you stop running it, it goes away. But that's not what we want. We should be able to add some information today, and it will still be available after some time. So that is where it really feels like a real website. Like imagine if you log into Amazon and every time you have to enter your details, and that's going to be a nightmare. So that is where all the data gets stored. So backend means you have a web API, which usually has not usually, always actually, it'll have a connection to the database. And also you can do stuff like being able to, log in with your username and a password, a simple system where you can log in with a username and a password, like that. Also information gets stored in the database. So, you can do like, just like how in an e-commerce website or something, you log in and then you're able to do some stuff. So this is what really makes a software. So front end plus backend. As you can see, the backend is a little bit more complex, but then again, as I mentioned many times in software development, nothing is simple until you learn and start developing it. So it does look complex right now, even in the simple drawing, but again, it does. Hopefully, I'll try to make it simple. So this is what we are trying to do here, folks. So till now, we have dabbled in the front end portion of things. We have seen some simple hello world projects with navigation, footers, showing some content and things like that, which is great. So that we have seen. So now for the next step, all right. So today, as I mentioned, it's going to be a little bit of a theory thing. So from the next session, my plan is to again do a very simple project, build a very simple back end, and then show you how to connect that with the front end. So this is really what I'm planning for the remaining sessions on this JavaScript Angular fundamentals, something that we started almost like a year ago or something. So this is what I want to do. So I already have a backend which I built for another student, but that it was built using a different technology. But I'll show it anyway because as I mentioned, the backend I built for this class for you guys specifically, that will have a similar appearance. But it's, before I build the whole thing, let me show you how the API usually looks. So let's go here. But here, Professor, does it make some sense here? Are you able to follow through what we are planning next here, Dr. Watson?
I'm following you closely.
Okay, very good, Dr. Watson. So now let me stop this and once again share my screen. Okay, here we go. So here, folks, this one is going to certainly look very complex. Dr. Watson, do you see this one, sir? A little bit different from what we are normally used to.
I am able to see it, yes.
Yes, sir. Now, this is also a backend, the one from the drawing I just did a minute ago. But this is a backend built using another programming language, which is C#. So this is not JavaScript, sir. So the backend I will be using from the next session, to showcase the remaining part of the training will be built using JavaScript. But I already have a C# one ready. So I'm just going to run this. You don't have to understand this. Don't worry. You don't have to run it or anything. You just have to see how it looks. So the best way to think of this is it's like a car, but from a different brand. So you get an idea what is going to happen to you. So let's go then. So there we go. I'll run this. Again, don't worry about what's there. It is C#. That's a completely different industry altogether. There you go, Professor. This is what you guys, I'll be showing in the next session. But same thing, I'll be showing you how to build in JavaScript. So it will still look like this. The output, the backend will still look similar to this, right? But right now, I already have this big backend, which I built for another class, C#. So please get familiar with this. And I have already connected this to Angular. So let's get that running as well. Okay, so we'll go deep into this in the next session. So once again, I'll come back to my Angular. Where are you? Here we go. Right, you'll see again, same thing. Now this is the kind of project we are going to be building from the next session. So here is our AIU project, the Hello World, which we just ran a few minutes ago. You can see again on the left side, you have .angular. Are you able to see that there, Professor, in the top left corner, .angular? And here also, again, you will see some zoom thing. Yeah, on the right side also, Professor, you can see .angular. Do you see that, sir?
Yes.
Okay, and again on the left side, I'll go to package.json. You can see I'm using Angular like 16.2 or something. Again, on the right side, you can see I'm using Angular 16. So similar projects, Professor. Okay, so now let's close the basic project. We'll minimize that. Let's go to the next version. Now this is slightly more complex. Now this is going to be our remaining set of sessions. So once again, you can see I already ran it a few minutes ago before the session. So all I have to do is npm run start, same command as before. It's loading, we'll wait for it. Okay, just like last time, we get the local host, I get this link, I'll click on it. And now this is what I want to show you guys. So you can see here, this one looks similar to the before. It also has like a home. This also has like an about us. But the difference is this time I also have something like a login and register. So let's go ahead here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I already have an account here. So let me just make sure everything is working. So let me just log in. Is it logging in? Hold on, let's see. Is my backend running, backend server? Yeah, it is running. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and log in. It's not logging now. That's very weird. Hold on, folks. Let's see why it is not logging in. It says password is not correct. So I might as well go ahead and use one of my existing accounts. So let's go. Might as well register a new account. So I'm going to say admin test account. Okay, registration successful. Very good. I'll go to login and I'll say login. Okay, all right. Professor, on the top right corner, do you see the name we just logged in is visible, sir?
Yes, very clearly.
Okay, yes, sir. So now let me go ahead and just register a new account, Professor, just to show that it does work, because last time I was just testing it. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to forget about this one also. Dr. Watson, I'll just create an account. So I'll just call it Dr. Watson at bungee.blog.com. Just creating a dummy account, Dr. Watson. So here, and then I'm going to say PASSWORD $123. Here we go. Just copy that so I don't forget it. And now I just want to get my sticky notes. Okay, let's do that. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and put that information here. That's the password and the account as well. So in case I forget, let's go back to the sticky notes here. And let's go ahead and put that here. Okay, let's keep it handy. Now I'm gonna go ahead and click on register. And now you can see, Dr. Watson, it says registration successful.
Correct.
Okay, now as I mentioned, the focus from now on is to build the backend, try and save the data in the database so that it remembers what we did so that we can use it later. So I have literally in front of you created an account. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and log in with those details. So I'm going to come back to my sticky note. I did keep it here and I'm going to go ahead. Oh, why did it not? Oh, I don't know. Okay. So Dr. Watson, it's forgotten you, sir. I don't know why. It's so strange. It doesn't like you, Dr. Watson. Something is not right.
That's right.
Let me
Doesn't
but
like
this is a good
my
opportunity.
face.
It's a good opportunity for me to show how a database looks, Professor. That's a good thing then. So now I've forgotten. I mean, I didn't forget. I did paste it in front of you guys. You saw it, but I don't know, Microsoft, I guess. It's not saving Dr. Watson's email address. But let me show you the database as well, right? So this is my database. I was anyway going to show the database today, Professor. It does look all complex, but hopefully, I know my students will watch the recording again and again. So I'm sure they'll do that. So I'm not too worried about it. So you have this database, right? And I'm just going to connect to it. And now I'm just trying to find out Dr. Watson's whatever email address I used to create the account, right? Because for some reason, even though I pasted it, it would not keep it. So I'll come here. Now here, what I want to do is I want to find out, I have so many databases. Which one am I using? I'm using the one called Bungee blog August 13, 2025. Where are you, 2025, August 13? Yes, sir. There you are. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go to the database again. And again, today, guys, just watch it. Don't worry about database. I'll be going deeper into databases in the upcoming sessions. I just want to know where Dr. Watson's account went in. So this is a good opportunity for me to show you the database, how it looks. And here it is. Dr. Watson, do you see that, sir? Dr. Watson at bungeecodeblog.com. So I take this. So I know it's stored in the database. It means I should be able to log in with the account I created for you, Dr. Watson. So I'm going to dump that here. Luckily for us, it did remember your password, sir. It didn't forget that at least. So I can go here, put it here. And if you notice closely, Dr. Watson, if everything works, your name should come on the top right corner. And there it goes. So we know the backend is working, sir, because as I saw in the drawing, the backend is what talks to the database. So when you register the account, the information went from the front end to the backend, which then passed it on to the database. The database kept it, and then now we are able to log in using those details. So are you able to see the flow here, Dr. Watson?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that is one thing I want to show how database and web API work together. One more thing I want to show, before I guess I take questions and wrap up, sir. So now let me click on save here. And in the top, sir, I do have an option that says admin. So let's go ahead and go to images. And I see that I don't have any images right now. So it says blank, whatever images were there, they're gone. That's okay. So I'll do one thing here, Dr. Watson. Let me just go to Wikipedia, sir. Just grab some images, okay? So I'm going to show and save some images and display them. So let's see how that works. So I'll go to the English Wikipedia, and here, okay, there is some footballer, I guess. We're going to just go to that guy's photo. There we go. And we'll just take the photo here. Okay, I don't know who this person is. We'll just save it. We'll go to desktop. And we'll create a folder here. Actually, I already have a folder for today's session, September 1st. Yeah, there you go. This is where I keep all my PowerPoint and everything. So I got one photo there. Okay, we'll come back to Wikipedia again. Apparently there's some, let me see. Yes, so something else. Archaeophilia. Okay, all right. So let's take this one again, save image. Okay, the two images. I think that should be good now. So I have two images, Dr. Watson. I'll come back to my website, and there's a button here, very handy, called Add Image. So I'll go ahead and say Add Image, Professor. It says Choose File. So I'm going to go to Choose File, and then I'm going to go to my desktop, and then I'm going to go to my Delete September 1st, and I'm going to take this footballer guy, and then I'm going to open this. And it says, you see the name showed up immediately. And it has got selected here as well. Okay, I'm just going to give it a title, Joe Walton. I'm not sure who that person is. We just got it from Wikipedia. I'm going to upload the image, and there's something going on. We'll not worry about that today because it just says image upload successful. Did you see that, sir?
Yes.
Okay, we'll send one more, Professor. So choose file, and let's go to this arc of Fileni. I don't know what that is, but we did grabbed it from Wikipedia. Again, we'll call this a name, arc of DFHILAENI. Okay, Professor, and upload. Again, this is backend stuff. We'll not worry about that today. And it says uploaded successfully. So now I have uploaded two images, Professor. And at the top, I have an option which says images. Again, it's a very simple project for beginners only. I go here, I should see, oh, there you go, Professor. The images are here. So they are saved, they are stored, and whatever name I gave Joe Walton, it is definitely visible, Professor. Right? So there you go, Professor. That is what I'm talking about in terms of connecting the front end to back end. And we can do one more thing before we take any questions. So now I have images. So what I'll do is I'll go back to the top, and I have some more options here called categories and blog posts. So let me quickly add some categories. So I'm just going to say add category. Oh, it says I don't have permission to add categories for some reason. So let me go to blog post. Let me see if I'm able to do blog post. It won't let me, Professor. Do you see on the top, there's like a small pop-up that keeps saying unauthorized?
I can see it.
Yes, Professor, because I created a new account for you. It's not going to fly here. So it says you don't have permission because it's a new account. So what I'll do is let me log in with my original account, Professor. Just give me 1 second, sir. So I can do the remaining steps as well. So I have the admin. Let me see. I think it's admin 4, I believe. Let's see if I can log in here. Hold on, Professor. So let me just get the admin account. Here we go. I have the admin account here. Yes, sir. Okay, there we go. Now let's get the password as well. Log in. Yes. Okay, Professor, I logged in as the original admin, not a new account with restrictions. So now I don't think I'll face any roadblocks, sir. There you go, Professor. It does give me permission. All right, now that's one more thing I want to show. It got accidentally I showed where we can restrict things based on whether you're a new account or an admin account. Again, we'll go deeper in future sessions. So I'm going to add a category. I'll just call this category Dr. Walson. I think it'll be fun. Okay, so let's call this Dr. Walson category. Here also, there's something called URL. We'll just put that as Dr. Walson as well. Okay, category done. Let's go to our blog post. And here I'm just going to create a new blog post. Now, where is that guy, Joe Walton? Let's go back to him. Okay, so here we'll go to, yes, Joe Walton. Let's find out who this guy is, Joe Walton. Okay, there you go, sir, Joe Walton. Let's say we are trying to blog about this person. So I want a title. I'll take a title. I'll put that here. Okay. Next, I just need to fill this extra thing. So I'm just going to call that Joe Walton as well. Okay. And then short description. Okay. I'll take this from here. Joseph Walton is a retired coach. Okay. Fine. And then some content. So I'm just going to copy the whole thing. There you go, Professor. Everything should work as expected. So there you go. I put some content. I'm just going to select an image. Okay, I'm going to select Joe Walton. Author, that's me. And then category is Dr. Walton. So Professor, what I did was I'm just filling up all the information and I'm hoping to store this in the database, Professor. And the backend, which is this, the backend, what happened to it? It was running just now a few minutes ago. Here it is. So this is the backend that you see on the screen. So it's taking all the information I'm sending and putting in the database so that I can retrieve it later, like a real website, Professor. So I'll come back here. I have all the information now. I even selected an image. I put a category and everything. I'm going to hit save. It says it's saved, Professor. Do you see that, sir? But that is still just information. It doesn't look not that great. So I'll click on the home button. There you go, Professor. It wasn't there a second ago. So, and again, it is stored in the database. So which means what? The whole thing I started in the beginning session is, even after I stop the website, I should still be able to see this later. So let's try that. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back to my project. Here, I'm going to stop this website. So it's like, okay, stop running. So if I go back here, I reload this, it says it's not running. We'll just wait for the error message. There you go, Professor. So the website has stopped. Right now, let's say some time has passed, maybe an hour or 2 days, some time has passed. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to say npm run start. Now, let's say next day we opened it or something, because we have a database. Okay, Professor, I'm just going to, one second, sir.
This is again Atlantic International University, brothers and sisters, with Professor Jay talking about JavaScript, very specifically JavaScript Fundamentals, Angular Hello World, Part 4.
Yes, Professor. Yes, thank you for filling the dead air, sir. Yes, so there you go, Professor. The information is saved, and whatever information I put there, the image, the thing about Joe Walton, the category Dr. Walton, author is Jay. It was added today, and of course some extra information we copy pasted. Everything was saved in the database, and we were able to get it back through the web API. So this is a preview of what I plan to do. And this is again something I promised way back last year. So when I started this whole JavaScript Fundamentals, my plan was to give the students here an introduction to JavaScript. And once we have done that, of course, we also mixed up with some AI topics because that was not there. Like AI was not that prevalent when we started, but now it's become like very much part of our developer life. Like I mentioned to you, Professor, like right now I'm doing that training thing for the company. So we use that extensively. In fact, it's become part of the training now. So it's very much, so I'm glad we also added this year. We did a couple of sessions on AI. And after JavaScript, we moved on to Angular basics. And now as we're wrapping up the Angular front-end stuff, it's time to bring it all together by combining the Angular front-end and back-end. So I already have the front-end ready, as you can see, but the back-end, it is built in C#. So it is running. It's very much alive, as you can see. But it is in C#, which is not part of our training at all. But of course, somebody is curious, they can look at it. It's in the same folder. But we will be having something similar which runs entirely on JavaScript, because that is what this training is about. So this is a preview of what is about to come in the next few sessions, Professor. So in the next few sessions, what we'll do is we'll build this. But again, as always, I try to build something exclusive for AIU. So you'll be building something similar where you can log in, store data, showcase it, and of course, sir, you know how I am. I keep doing things. I get new ideas. I just add it. Like I just add it, and of course, AI is grateful enough to give me that freedom. So I keep it open minded. While making sure the basics are covered, so that, like, again, the AI things, it was never part of our training, but we did add it, and I think everyone's benefiting. So this is what's going to come up next, guys. It all might look very complex, but again, I hope, like, whenever I build this is what we build as software developers. This is what it is expected on a bare minimum from a developer, to be able to build front end and back end, use a database with GitHub, and obviously with AI and everything. So hopefully, so far, I think many of you are enjoying it. You'll be there for the remaining sessions as well. So, Professor, I have pretty much. Let me just check my PowerPoint, sir. I am sure I have talked about everything I want to discuss today. Running my project, recapping the entire process. I did that, sir. Game plan for the next phase of yes, sir. It's whatever I planned. Again, npm install, it is there. Okay, so I was hoping to use that NASA API, Professor, but then I thought, just before a session, like, I was like, you know what? No need for that. We'll just show the big one right away. So I skipped the simple one, and I just went for the big one. There are two things here, Professor: Postman and Swagger. I'll go deep into it in the future sessions. I already gave the project demo. So there you go, Professor. So I have covered what I want to do, with plenty of time left for any questions.
Thank you very, very much,
Yes, sir.
Professor J. That was very, very intensive.
Yes, sir.
But it was hands-on with a beautiful demo, pretty much like you wrote it.
Yes, sir.
A showcase of Angular project the way it should be practiced on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much again. You've done a superb job as expected from you.
Yes, sir.
And I want to say thank you on behalf of AIU. Going straight to the questions at this
Yes,
time,
sir.
and we are beginning with Ismail Adebola. Hi, Ismail.
Hi, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm grateful. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Dr. J. And good
Hello, sir. Hi.
Thank you.
You may remove the PowerPoint if unless you need it, Professor J.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Can I proceed with the question, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. By reflecting on the significance of version control when executing essential commands through the terminal in an Angular project, how does it contribute to collaborative development?
Right. So version control is essentially the JIT stuff and GitHub that I pretty much mentioned in every session. So it's better to show than simply answer. So let me share my screen again. And here, if I go back to my GitHub account, because I use version control every day. So here, same bungee cord, the same project we're discussing today, you'll notice that I have been developing this project. Let me just move that zoom thing away. You'll see that I have been developing this. If I go all the way to the bottom and I keep going backwards and backwards, yeah, so this project actually started in the current version somewhere in 2025, 2012, although it is much older than this. I don't know why the previous things are not starting. So there you go. So now you'll see here that as and when I make changes, the changes could be new features, changes could be fixing bugs. Like, for example, I will start adding a backend specifically for the AI session. So as and when I do that, all of that gets tracked like this. So this allows me to keep improving the code from multiple computers, and also allows me to share this with student, like for example, with you guys. So when this code is ready, all I have to do is share this link to you, and it's accessible, to anybody who can access this link. So that is the way I personally use version control as a solo developer, because right now I don't have anyone else working with me. However, in a team project, I have an example for that also. So if I go back to my GitHub and I go here, you'll see on the right side of this specific repository, you'll see that one of my students has contributed. Towards are able to see contributors too. So now this
Perfect.
wasn't there in the previous one because
Mhm.
that was built completely alone by myself. And so far, no one has contributed to it. However, this student did contribute, which means what? So this guy is a friend of mine, well, a student of mine from London. So he is able to take my code, make changes on his machine, add stuff to it, and I was able to take his code and merge it with my code. So that is the second biggest reason how version control, contributes or helps, or even it's actually mandatory. It's not even optional to project development, including Angular. So Git, every time I say Git, cloning, learn GitHub, go back to my archives, go to my YouTube channel, learn Git, learn Git. I say it almost every day. That just shows how important version control is. It helps you as a single learner to push and manage your project, and working in a team, it allows you to combine code from different developers, different laptops into a single project. So that's the whole beauty of version control, Professor. It's not even optional. It is mandatory. So version control, Git, what we talk about, Git is really what version control is, Git and GitHub. And the sessions are already there in the archives, guys. And of course, in the YouTube channel links, I already given in the one sheet document.